Okay, so being a porn star in West Virginia, it's not very good. It's not very fun, not at all. So I'm going to explain to you the things that I deal with on a daily basis ever since I became a porn star. As many of you may know, West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, any of these bordering states are really not supportive of the adult industry. I mean, there are some that are very supportive, and I really appreciate those people. But for the majority, people are very close minded, very judgmental. Even though I was not hurting anyone, I was not doing anything to bother anyone. Anyone who knows me personally will tell you that I am a very nice, down to earth, chill person. I always try to avoid drama. Um, and I most definitely never bullied anyone. However, whenever I first began doing porn, I experienced a lot of bullying. And in my opinion, yeah, sure, what I was doing, you were not okay with it, but bullying someone over their own sexual, personal choice that is not bothering or affecting anyone, that kind of makes you the bad person. Especially if that person has never done anything to you whatsoever. And that is what happened in my case. People who I didn't even know were bullying me and like not just saying, "Oh, she does porn." It was degrading me. It was telling me that I need help and just all kinds of unnecessary bullshit. Um, I remember whenever I done my first mainstream film, um, I it had been like a week had went by since the film had been released. I woke up one morning and, of course, just like anyone else does, I was laying in bed. I checked my phone, and whenever I did, I got on Facebook, and I seen that someone had shared a link to my video, which I knew was going to happen at some point. I expected that, but honestly, I didn't expect it to happen in the way that it did. I expected, people to be talking about it in my hometown or maybe posting a status about it, but not actually sharing the link to my videos on Facebook. And not only are they sharing it, the comments along with it were absolutely horrible. And it honestly really, really upset me. I woke up that morning, I read that, and I instantly just completely lost it. I just started like bawling and crying. I was just so overwhelmed with so many emotions. I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't think straight. I was like, how did this happen? You know, like of course I knew people was going to find out, but not in the way that it did. And the names that people were calling me and everything just were things that I had honestly never even heard of before. And it was honestly the worst day of my life, waking up and seeing that. So, to those of you that done that, just know that that really hurt me. And if I was someone who was not a porn star and I knew someone who started doing porn and I'd seen their video on the internet, I would not share that. Definitely not on Facebook, and I probably wouldn't even talk about it because it's that person's choice what they want to do. It's not hurting anyone at all. It's not bothering you one bit. If it bothers you, just don't look at it. There's no need to degrade and dehumanize and completely just put someone down over that. I mean, it got to the point where I had no other choice but to delete my Facebook entirely. So I did. I deleted my Facebook. I honestly got rid of the phone that I had at the time because I was receiving text messages from people asking me like, why would I do that, and like if I'm okay, and it was just it was horrific. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much that's the start. of my porn career in West Virginia. After that, if I would come home to visit family, it was always horrible. There are several occurrences that I could name that happened. I once had someone to literally follow me home one night. It was someone who I knew and that I don't think had really liked me before in the past. He had been following me down the road I was driving. He was behind me. He um, kept like driving really recklessly, like trying to get me to wreck or trying to get me to hit him or something. I don't know, but he followed me directly to my house. And once I pulled into my driveway, my mom was outside at the time, and he had actually stopped. And once he realized my mom was outside, he just pulled off and left. I didn't know who this person was. I'm not going to name any names, but yeah, I don't know what their intention was. If my mom wouldn't have been home, and like I don't know what they would have done. So honestly, in my hometown, I don't feel safe at all. Not then, and not now either. Um, Besides that, anytime I go out in public to, like I said, I live in a really small town. If I go out in public and I see someone that I know, they either start whispering to whoever they're with and like giggling and laughing. For example, a while back, I went into a gas station and a girl that I used to be friends with was in there along with one of her other friends. And they just started looking at me like really weird, like just dead ass staring at me. Um, Started like laughing and giggling, and like I heard the girl that I used to be friends with. She was like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "Oh my god, holy shit! There's a porn star in here." You know, like what the fuck? Like, why make such a big reaction over that? Like, we used to be friends. You didn't like what I had to do, so then you have to make some kind of remark just because you see me in public. Like, that's so childish, in my opinion. It is so fucking childish. I still deal with that a lot. You know, if I go somewhere, someone sees me. I've even heard people like whisper under their breath, whore or slut or just some type of derogatory remark. Um, Whenever it comes to my family, of course, my mom found out. She was like the first to find out, and she wasn't like that upset about it. Of course, she was disappointed, but she came to terms with it eventually. However, my grandparents, I honestly never planned or intended on them finding out at all, just because they never had internet. They were very elderly and very old school. They never had internet. They lived in a place with no cell phone service. They never had any connection to anything like that. So honestly, like I'd never expected them to find out about it. But someone else in my family felt the need to show my elderly, sick grandparents my porn videos. Why they done that, I don't know. Because not only did that hurt me, that also hurt them a lot. And if it wasn't for that person doing that, they would have never found out. They would have had no idea about it. And my grandfather died knowing that I done porn, and he was disappointed in it. But little did he know, within the like 2 weeks before he died, I had quit porn for good. I had came home, I had completely quit porn, and I was just getting ready to tell him that. I was just getting ready to tell him that, and I just found out that he died one night, and I didn't get the chance to tell him that. I know that he would have been very proud of that. And I wish I had the opportunity to tell him that. Um, Another issue dealing with being a porn star here is fake friends. After I became a porn star, I had people who I knew of. I wasn't necessarily friends with them. I knew of them, and they were all of a sudden like messaging me, like saying like we should hang out and stuff whenever I'm in town and stuff like that. And like I was nice to them, just like I am to anyone else. You know, I would respond, I would talk to them, but like for example, one girl that I never had even met in person, I knew of her. She asked me like if I could help her out with some money and let her like borrow some money for a while or something, and like I really didn't respond just because I didn't know that person. It would be a lot different if I knew that person and they had always been supportive of me and of my career. Then sure, I would not have cared in the least bit to help them out. But I didn't really respond to her just because I didn't know her that well. Well, she got really mad about it and like sent me like this huge thing about how like I'm selfish and how I only care about myself and I'm stuck up and don't want to help anyone else. And just, she was so butthurt about it. And like so that's another thing that I deal with. I deal with people always trying to use me for money. And still, even now that I quit porn, I moved back to West Virginia. I get people hitting me up who I've never even talked to before. All of a sudden, like want to hang out or like expect me to like to do things for them. And it's like, why would I do something for you when I don't even know you at all? And it's just, I'm tired of feeling like I'm being used by people. Um, Another thing is all of the creepy ass fucking stalkers. Like I mentioned previously in this video about the person who had followed me home, there are many other occurrences similar to that. I've had people in my hometown to make like fake accounts on Twitter or Instagram or something just to follow me. And one person in particular, their username was watching you hard. And any comments that they had to make towards me were all completely negative. One including my Elias, Ali Black. This person, whoever they were saying that um, I came up with my Elias because I went to school with a girl named Ali Black, and me and her never got along, and we were always enemies, and that's why I chose to use that name. And that is complete, total fucking bullshit because I never had even heard of this girl. And like I said, I live in a really small town. And it's honestly surprising, even to me, that I'd never heard of this girl. I had no clue who she was. And I most definitely do not ever remember going to school with her. So I definitely was not her enemy. So yeah, people would just make up lies and things like that just to cause even more problems. Um, Ali Black, this is how I came up with my Elias. Ali. My real name is Olivia, spelled with an A. Alivia. I got that Ali from the Ali part at the beginning. The black came from my style, my black hair, my black makeup, my black clothing. I just decided it was a good combination. I did not think at all that there was a person, like that lived in my area that had that name. And honestly, her name was even spelled differently than mine. Hers was Allie, I believe, and mine was Alli. But so many people made such a big deal out of that. They were like saying she couldn't come up with anything better, so she had to steal someone else's name, when that is definitely not the case at all. Um, so yeah, my life in West Virginia is definitely not good during porn, and most certainly not after porn. It's even worse, I think, after porn because, like, I don't do porn anymore, and people don't understand that. They see me out in public and they're like, when are you gonna make a new video or something like that? And it's like I'm not. Like I'm moving on with my life. Like I am a normal fucking person. I want to go to school. I have other plans for my life. I don't have to focus my life completely around porn. Of course, if I want to go back to it at some point, I will. Like I said, like anything that I've done in the porn industry, I do not regret at all. I do not regret any of it. It just, like I mentioned in my previous video, that the reasons that I quit were not anything against the industry at all. It just, at the time, it just wasn't working out for me. Um, oh, another thing. Guys in my hometown that automatically assume that I want to fuck them just because I'm a porn star. I have guys all the time trying to hang out with me and stuff, and they'll instantly start making like sexual comments or like sexual gestures or like, I would love to fuck you. And it's like, dude, do you not understand that I've gotten to fuck some of the most hottest porn stars that there are, and during my career, I could have as much sex as I could possibly want. So if you're a guy here and I am talking to you, that means that I genuinely want a relationship with you. I'm not looking for sex. I can get sex in my career. If I'm talking to you, I'm not worried about sex at all. And you mentioning that, that's just a major turnoff for me. Like, I don't understand what would make guys think that just because I'm a porn star would mean that I would want to fuck you. Like, I'm not a sex addict. I am not a whore. I will not just go and have sex with anyone. It doesn't work that way. Sorry, but it doesn't.